Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of X Malice along Takeru Sasazuka's route. In the last episode, Akito invited Sasazuka to join Adonis, and he really hit him in a soft spot, and he's thinking about it, and he hasn't shown up to work today, so I'm really worried. And as you can see, everybody's exhausted except for freaking Takeda, because he just arrived. He hasn't been working this for months like everybody else. So let's get back to it. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. The investigators on site, including Minagishi, were all visibly tired. After I delivered coffee to Minagishi, I went out to the hallway for a break and dashed off a message to Sasazuka. Don't ignore me. Where are you right now? If you can read this message right now, please respond. I looked toward the ground while holding my phone in my line of sight. He's not going to answer, is he? If you would like, Adonis will assist you in exacting your revenge. That is the message from Zero. The number you have dialed is unavailable right now. At the tone. He's not answering. The seed of worry grew larger, and its vines started to constrict around my heart. He had a motive for revenge. He had a target for revenge. And now, he had the means for revenge. With the same stage set for him, Akito joined Adonis. What would Sasazuka do? He said that there was someone he hated so much that he wanted to kill them. I couldn't concentrate. After I left the police department, I heaved a huge sigh and tried to reflect on the situation. I couldn't remember doing a single productive thing at work today. I better snap out of it. Easier said than done. I slapped my face to rile myself up, and I checked my messages with the faintest bit of hope. As I suspected, nothing. I tried calling again, but once again I just got the answering machine. Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't help, but you could try Yanagi and Enomoto, see if they've seen him. What should I do? I couldn't just go home, so I thought about what I should do. Let's see. We'll go to the office. I'll try the office. Maybe he was just at the office the entire time. I knew I was grasping at straws as I headed over to the detective office. I mean, this is the answer that's in the walkthrough, but you know, if I was there and I was thinking about it, Enomoto had said before that when he sequesters himself in his place, he doesn't answer messages, so I would have thought that would have been a possibility. On the 5th floor of the building was a light that made me gasp. The light was quite literally one final ray of hope. What are you talking about? 2 guys live there. Could it be... I ran up the stairs of the building and readied my voice to shout. Sasazuka!
Whoa! What's going on? An attack? Is this place gonna set on fire?
Enomoto. Maybe he was napping. He had fallen to the floor and was getting back up. I bowed in apology to Enomoto. I just thought that Sasazuka was back.
Takeru, I haven't seen him today. Did something happen?
No, I don't have a way to contact him. Is it alright if I just waited for him here for a bit?
Go ahead. I'll make some coffee.
Thanks, that's sweet of you. Where's Yanagi? Where has Yanagi been this whole time? I watched Enomoto go to the other room and heard him let out a sigh. I didn't know whether or not to tell him the circumstances because I was unaware of how much of Sasazuka's past they knew. I hesitated to reveal things that Sasazuka might not want known. Yeah, since he doesn't like talking about it himself anyway. I drank the coffee Enomoto made for me, and while we chatted idly, I felt myself gradually growing calmer. Enomoto kept glancing at me, probably trying to find the right moment to pop in with what he wanted to ask. Even if I can't tell him the exact circumstances, I should still ask for his opinion. I viewed this as part of the investigation and opened my mouth. Enomoto, is there anyone you'd like to get revenge on?
Huh? Revenge?
Yes, the common thread that ties the X cases together is revenge. Sasazuka told me that the foundation of a good investigation is to think the way a criminal does. For example, if someone that you loved dearly was murdered in cold blood, how do you think that person would act?
What about you? Can you imagine yourself hating someone so much that you want to kill them?
No. Even if someone I loved was murdered, I didn't think I would hate that person enough to actually go and kill them. I can't imagine it. Maybe you're not trying hard enough. As someone that hadn't been hurt, I can't just yell down from my high horse that revenge is never the answer. But if I were to dirty my hands with revenge, I knew there would be someone saddened by it. My family, friends, colleagues, I'd think of their faces and it would force me to stop. Or maybe that's what I want to believe. When the situation actually arose, no one could definitively say that they would never do it in the heat of the moment. As long as I couldn't understand the emotions of a perpetrator who was desperately seeking revenge. As long as I didn't get Sasazuka's emotions. Would it really be impossible for me to stop Adonis? Would it really be impossible for me to stop Sasazuka? It seemed like a confession, and Enomoto listened to me quietly. After I was finished, he turned his head and gave me a confused look.
You mentioned the perpetrator's emotions. Why do you need to understand them?
Huh?
I'm sure that's one way to investigate, but that's just one method. It's not like I can talk because I quit. But are you trying to say the police need to empathize with criminals? I don't think that's true at all.
Oh.
A policeman's job is to catch criminals. To catch them so they don't commit more crimes, for the sake of the potential victim and the criminal.
Why was I mistaken? 'Cause you were listening to Sasazuka's method? He's been telling you that's his way. If it was just to have empathy, you didn't need to be a cop to do that. What you must do is catch criminals and put them somewhere they could atone for their crimes. That's a police officer's job. Enomoto, thank you.
Give me a break. If I get too serious, I start to get really uncomfortable.
Enomoto was being bashful, so I smiled at him while picking up my cell phone. I wanted to think the same as someone close to me. I thought that feeling was important. But to blindly think the same thing simply for the sake of doing it was an empty gesture. When they've chosen the wrong path, you have to take their hand and lead them back. If I can't do that, I can't really call myself his partner. I thought a little deeper before writing a message. The message's theme should be... Do I get to pick? Oh, I am about to cry. Yeah, he doesn't seem to like hearing people say I believe in you. But we know that he doesn't like us crying. I wonder if Sasazuka remembers. When we were drinking in his room. I said these words while I was pretty intoxicated. But they came from the heart, and they were powerful enough to shut him up. I kept that in my mind as I put my thoughts into the message. I'm about to cry.
Just be good and wait.
That was the only response, but it showed that our hearts connected. That short but gentle message embraced me and filled me with warmth. Yeah, that was reassuring. And then, Enomoto said he had some business to attend to and waved as he left the office. He might have been being considerate to me since I told him I wanted to wait for Sasazuka here. The office was too quiet for me to just sit there all by myself. But I wasn't afraid anymore. I knew Sasazuka would be back. I believed in that, and I slowly fell into a deep slumber. Don't know if it's a good idea to be sleeping here in the office, but oh well. Chapter 6. December 19th, 2:26 a.m. I heard a sound. In my sleep, the sound that stirred me awake was the sound of a door opening and closing. Enomoto? Is he back? That's right. I have to message Kazuki. Tell him I'm staying out tonight. And sleeping at the office? I have some bread I already bought for breakfast and some leftover salad in the refrigerator. While I collected my addled thoughts, I reached for my cell phone. Whoa!
Huh?
My hand contacted something warm, and I felt it twitch. I nervously opened my eyes. What part of him did I just touch? Huh? The hand reached out to cover my mouth, and he placed his index finger in front of his mouth. Be quiet? I nodded, and Sasazuka started to poke around on his cell phone. Don't want the caller to know he's here. I waited for another few moments. My cell phone vibrated. It'd probably be better to use pen and paper here.
I don't want the caller to pick up. Don't talk until I say so.
I quietly nodded.
I'll be working non-stop starting now.
Until morning? All through the night? With that short statement, I blinked and tried to respond. Is there anything I can help with?
Nothing. Go to sleep. That's all.
He patted me on the head as he sent that concise message before sitting down in front of his PC. Shouldn't I ask him what to tell Minagishi? At least let me make you some coffee.
I already bought coffee.
How am I communicating with him? Am I typing on my phone? Or is he reading my mind again?
I know you want attention, but I don't want the caller picking up keystrokes. Go to sleep.
Oh my god, I used an emoji. Could he read my mind? He was reading her mind. She was just thinking all these things. How does he seem to know exactly what I'm thinking? Because you're so easy to read, as he always says. After the wave of messages coming, he signed off with that emoji and caused me to fall flat on my face. Yeah, I think I would too, seeing him use an emoji. When I turned around, I saw him smile and it filled me with emotion. He usually had such sharp eyes, but in his writing I could sense his humor. Sasazuka was right there. Now he was somewhere I could reach him. That relieved me a bit. I started to doze off again, but I managed to dash off a quick message first. Welcome back. Good to have you back. And what has he been doing all this time, though?
When I saw a message from Ichiki, I couldn't help but smile. When I turned around to look, she was right there, sleeping peacefully in front of me with a smile on her face. Just you wait, it's only a little bit longer. I turned my head to face the PC and tried to type on the keyboard as quietly as possible. I didn't have time to waste now. I had to quickly crack the data that he gave me. Once I was done analyzing this, I'm sure. This happened a while ago. After I ended the video connection with Akito, I had Ichiki go home first.
Yeah, I had a feeling some stuff occurred after that. Back at that night.
Damn it. I took my anger out on Maneu's chair.
Of course, Maneu's chair.
I took my anger out on Maneu's chair until I was out of breath. This is the worst. This is the worst feeling I could possibly imagine. Those cruel gunshots. My mother's smile stained in blood. Just remembering his smile when the ruling came down in his favor. That sight replayed over and over in my mind. Years had passed since then. But when I saw him again, a white-hot hatred reignited in my mind. I want to kill him. Even if I have to take the hand of the devil. Even if I have to step into hell. If I can kill him with my own hands, I don't care what else.
Tell me that you won't go anywhere.
Before I could truly engulf myself in hatred, that voice echoed in the back of my head. Compared to this hatred I feel, it was such a tiny voice.
But it was still there. Don't go to the other side. Say it. Or else. or else I'll cry.
Those words in her face forced their way into my thoughts. Like a thin lifeline, it was enough to anchor me to the side. Snap out of it, Takeru Sasazuka. What do I need to do right now? Think. I slapped my face and clenched my teeth. If I made her cry, it would be incredibly annoying. I fired myself up with those words, and I mentally played back the conversation I had over the PC with Akito. I played it again and again. The attractive recruitment from Adonis. I tried to hold out and find something to glean from this video. This would be a long night.
Where are you right now? If you can read this message right now, please respond.
I can't respond. I can't pick up the phone. I put away my cell phone as I tried to compose my thoughts. Ichiko was at the department right now. Now was the time to move. I put on my coat and went out into the blinding sunlight. After pulling an all-nighter, my head felt heavy, but I also actually felt more awake than ever. Akito's message to me wasn't meant to be taken literally. There's something I noticed as I rewatched the video over and over. Akito was trying to impart something to me the best he could.
And I've already sent a parting gift to Kazuki. He might not realize it, but it was atonement for myself. Sasazuka, this is a personal request to you. Please, make no mistake about who it is that must be judged.
Atonement. And judgment. What did Akito Sera atone for?
His own sins?
What judgment did he want me to see? I almost had it, but there wasn't enough information. I just stared at the screen and knew that I'd never arrive at the answer sitting there. So I got up. I headed back to that place. Little brother, I'm coming in.
How could you go to my house without me?
What do you want?
Welcome, Takeru. Come on, calm down, Kazuki.
Don't let him in. This is my house. Okazaki, go over there for a second. I need to talk to him. He must have sensed that it was serious, because Kazuki shut up quickly. Okazaki nodded in understanding and headed to the living room. I'll cut right to the chase. Before Akito disappeared, do you remember him giving you anything or having you hold on to anything?
Huh? I wouldn't remember. We lend and borrow each other's stuff all the time.
If you don't remember, try harder. Just list off everything you could think of.
Well, now that you mention it, I got Akito's new composition on the day that he disappeared.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a great song as usual, but the last part seemed unfinished, so I remember wanting to talk to him about it.
Do you have the song with you? Kazuki gave me the file, so I transferred it to my laptop and opened up the music file that Akito had given him. The moment I saw the file name, my face tensed up. The title is Atonement.
Hey, does this mean you found something about Akito? Then...
I'm in the middle of an investigation. I can't tell you the details, but I'll do my best. Let me use your room for a bit. I need to work on something right now. I cut the conversation and chased Kazuki out before I turned on my PC. I knew it. The music file Akito gave Kazuki wasn't just ordinary music. It sounded like music if you played it on a media player. But if you dig into the data, there's code woven into the file. I continued to poke at the file to tease out the data, and soon a bit of text emerged. It's a URL. I navigate to the web page. Alright, it's connected. As expected, the server's located overseas. It seemed like I was on the right track. On the screen was a prompt with a single letter X to enter a password, waiting for me to input something. I thought a little and typed in a password. First attempted the username Akito used for video chat. Didn't work. I guess it's not that simple. It's too risky to use a brute force method to crack it. If he knows his way around a computer like he claimed he did, the site's going to erase the data after a certain number of attempts. Akito led me here, so he must also want me to crack this data. There has to be a hint somewhere.
And I've already sent a parting gift to Kazuki. He might not realize it, but it was atonement for myself.
His words and actions. There has to be something.
Sasazuka, this is a personal request to you.
There's a hidden hint there.
Please, make no mistake about who it is that must be judged.
The title of the song he gave Kazuki was Atonement, not Atonement and Judgment.
It's a great song, as usual, but the last part seemed unfinished, so I remembered wanting to talk to him about it.
Unfinished? Well, in that case, I picked up my cell phone and scrolled through my contacts. Hello, Yanagi, it's me.
Oh, Yanagi! A person that we haven't seen in, like, weeks in this game. December 18th, 7:45 p.m. Why would we need Yanagi for figuring that out, though?
The club concert was so empty compared to the last time I was here. But according to the info, he should be here practicing today.
Well, if it's just practice, of course there's not going to be many people.
At this point, I'd received multiple messages from Ichika. It bothered me to just ignore them all, but I entered the concert club.
We're just here for Ichiki?
I showed my police ID to the staff, and they let me through as if they were expecting me. I'm here looking for Yasuhiro Ichiki. He noticed me and gives me a wary look.
Who are you?
Police. Yasuhiro Ichiki, I want to talk to you.
Are you here to ask me about 2 years ago again? I've already told you people everything. I don't like the police. Please leave.
I expected this reaction. Yasuhiro Ichiki had been wrongfully accused 2 years ago, when he was suspected of murdering someone by pushing them onto the train tracks. The officer who made that wrongful arrest was murdered in the May incident. So, naturally, Ishii was expected. His distrust of the police would obviously be high. But now is not the time to care about that. You know about Akito Sera, right? Before he went missing recently, he sent some files for a new song he just composed, didn't he? The title of the song is Judgment. Am I wrong?
How did you know that?
Kazuki Hoshino also had a song sent to him around the same time. There's a code embedded in the song. I need the other half of the data in order to put the code together. Considering Akito's circle of close friends, you and Kazuki were the only people he'd sent this to.
And? Let's say I did receive something like you're talking about. There's no reason for me to give it to you. Especially if me giving that to you will cause harm to Akito.
And you're saying that to me, knowing that Akito is involved in a criminal act.
Yes. I've known Akito even longer than Kazuki. That's why I know. He was in pain when his sister was murdered. I wasn't surprised when he went missing and when he was questioned by the police. When he chose that path, that's how it was. What moved Akito? It was an emotion that I'm all too familiar with.
The wrongful arrest.
Yeah. That turned my whole world upside down. I was one step away from achieving my dream, and everything came crumbling down. All those fans that supported me, all my sponsors, they just turned around and thumbed their noses at me. Even after I was proven innocent, Yasuhiro Ichiki of Gaimu was already tainted. That's never going to change.
So, you understand how Akito feels as someone who took his revenge?
No, I'm different from Akito. I chose to move on. I won't try to gain back what I lost. I've decided to start anew. What Akito does is Akito's problem. I'm not the one to decide if it's right. All I can do for him is make sure that I'm on his side. That's why I won't cooperate with you. But he pointed us here.
Ichiki's eyes are calm and unmoved. This makes things difficult. He'd already decided his position, despite knowing everything that's going on. How do I gain his trust? What card can I play here?
You need to get him to know that it was Akito's idea.
That's when I heard a vibrating noise that undercut the tension.
Go ahead and read the message.
Being urged on by his wry smile, I looked at the display on my phone.
I'm about to cry.
That idiot. I let an exclamation slip out when I read such a stupidly honest message.
Yeah, this isn't the time, Ichika.
Of course. After the recruitment attempt, I cut off all contact and didn't even respond. I'm sure she was feeling uneasy. She clung to me when we were drunk and cried like a child. I remembered that and quickly composed a response text. I didn't want to do all of this and end up making her cry. I wanted to tell her where I am and what I was doing right now. But for the time being, just be good and wait. I sent off that simple message, although it was filled with my emotion. Ichiki, I know what you want to say, but I can't back down either. It was Akito's wish for me to crack the code in that file.
Really? Akito wants that?
I'll show you the video of the conversation I had with Akito. Just watch it and decide what you want to do after that. I opened up my laptop, played the video, and turned around. I'll be waiting at the stage. You should realize what's going on. It was a huge gamble. I was risking everything, banking on Ichiki seeing through to Akito's message. Ichiki knew Akito's desire for revenge, so he might find something in that video. Now that Akito had completed his revenge, what would he think? What was in his mind when he gave them that song? The meaning of all that. Soon afterwards, Yasuhiro Ishiki exited the green room. He was carrying my PC and a USB drive.
The song I got from Akito. It's on this USB stick.
Are you sure it's okay?
I don't know your circumstances, or what exactly he's trying to say. But what I can tell that Akito regrets it. He's like a stubborn child there. He can't say what he wanted directly, but he wants others to notice. That's why I'll give this to you. I think that's for the best.
All right. I won't waste this chance. I left the concert club and looked up at the sky and the scattered stars and headed back over to the office. I needed to crack this data as soon as possible. I didn't know just how much information I was going to have to sift through to get to the data that Akito entrusted to me. But this would lead to the clue for judgment.
December 19th at 2:26 a.m.?
The door to the office was unlocked. I entered, disgusted at how lax the security was. Immediately I saw a silhouette. Wrapped up in a blanket on the sofa was Ichika sleeping. Ichika reached out, and I couldn't help but twitch in response. Her eyes slowly opened. I reached out. I covered her mouth immediately.
And that's where we're at now. And I guess she went back to sleep. It's 5-something in the morning.
After that, she must have been mentally exhausted, as Ichika was sleeping so soundly that I can hear her steady breathing. I got back to analyzing the data and stared at the screen intently. So, this is the data Akito left me. Just as I expected, the judgment sound data had a password. When I entered the password for the URL, I got the atonement file. When I entered the password into the URL I got from the atonement file, I got access to a huge cache of data. The names of perpetrators they call executors. Although it wasn't everything, there was all the details of the X-Day plan, and his own confessions. He must have hacked into Adonis' system to obtain this information. Where is it? All the data here is important. These secrets are all actionable intelligence that Investigations HQ can use to completely snuff out Adonis. Or is it? But I was searching for different information. I kept opening and closing windows as I desperately looked through the information. As long as I found that, I could finally be released.
What is that? December 19th, 7:13 a.m. I was awakened by a comforting typing sound on the keyboard. I was dozing in the morning sunlight when I saw Sasazuka's back. I'm glad it wasn't a dream. The voiceless words we exchanged last night, the warmth of his hand on me. He was where I could reach him. Sasazuka was here right now. That made me so happy I wanted to cry. Has he really been working nonstop the entire night? I should at least get him some coffee.
Found it. That's it.
Surprised at his sudden cry, I tried to muffle my collar's microphone. But Sasazuka didn't seem to mind as he got up and started walking toward me.
Close your eyes.
Huh?
Just shut up and close them.
Feeling forced to comply, I closed my eyes without knowing why. Oh. Huh? I felt the sensation of a hand on my clothes, which caused me to twitch. Did he find the code to the collar? Sasazuka extended his hand and quietly undid the button by my neck. What are you doing? After he unbuttoned some more buttons on my shirt.
All right.
At the same time I felt him pull me closer to him, I also felt something touching my neck. Huh? He's that confident. Is this? I heard an electronic noise from my neck as my heart jumped. I had a feeling I knew what he was doing now, and after a few more small sounds, I opened my eyes. Oh!
That's it. Just you wait.
I'm free! Sasazuka sighed in relief and then headed to the room in the back. I watched him go as my trembling fingers touched my neck. The inorganic metallic feeling was gone. Nothing to feel there now but the pulsing warmth that greeted my fingers.
You're all right now.
Oh, he looks so relieved. Sasazuka finished checking something as he said those words with multiple meanings. I'm all right. I had been forced to stay silent for a while, so I couldn't speak normally. I managed to wring these words out of my quivering throat. How?
Thanks to Akito, I was finally able to grab those bastards by the tail.
Sarah?
In the data he gave me, there were details on how to remove your collar. Finally managed to get it off you.
He rubbed his eyes, which were ringed by dark circles, and quietly filled me in.
The wiretap bug is still active, but I put it inside a case that blocks radio waves. I'll take this to the station now. We're just getting started. Get ready.
Yes. And now the real fun begins. He said it was thanks to Akito, and he said something about the data. There were many things I didn't understand, but I definitely understood that it was time to move. Sasazuka took out his cell phone with me by his side.
Minagishi, this is Sasazuka. I found Adonis' hideout. Please gather the investigators immediately.
While we headed to the station by taxi, Sasazuka got me up to speed on everything. The insight about Akito in the video chat, the song data sent to Kazuki and Ichiki, how he analyzed the data from the website that Akito led him to. He told me about all the Adonis secrets that he'd found, including my collar's data.
I'm going to nap. Wake me when we get there.
Sasazuka turned to his side and closed his eyes. Soon I heard him fall asleep. He must be really tired. He passed out almost immediately. I listened to his rhythmic breathing as I looked at the collar in the case. Shouldn't the case be closed so it can't cause any trouble? On that night, 2 weeks ago when the collar had been placed on me, that was when it all started for me. And today, it would all end. We were going to end it together. And we'll start ending it together in the next episode, because I think that's a good spot to break at. Woohoo! We are collarless! I think that was the most satisfying decollaring she's had in any of the routes so far. I don't know, just something about it I enjoyed. Of him, like, poring over the data, like that was his primary purpose, looking for the collar code, like, never mind all these Adonis people, we can arrest them now, yeah, let me get the code for that collar. Well, we'll see if we get very far with capturing many Adonis members in this route, or if Shiraichi's gonna tip our hand before we get to really act much. I hope to see you in the next video for that, or some of my other ones, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.